So yesterday we created a PCB and adapter, right? Okay, so today what we are going to do, so we are going to continue with that. Okay, so before creating a SAML connection, okay, what we are going to do, so we are going to like create a entity ID for the pingfederate. Okay, so our identity provider entity ID, we are going to create it. Can you go to the system in the right hand side corner? So here in the left hand side there is a server is there, right? Yeah, so here you could see there is a protocol settings. Under the SAML 2.0 entity ID was there, right? So here, okay, can we give, okay, so entity ID may be a URL or anything, that is our naming convention only. We can give anything we want, okay. It may be like a URL or it may be like a string or anything we want, we can create actually, just a naming convention, okay. So we can give, I think, test-IDP actually. So that would be the better option. So ours is IDP, right? So we can give test-IDP. So that makes sense also. Okay. Yeah. So click on save. Usually, right? Okay. I will give you one example. So usually, like all the organization which I was working on. Okay. So I have created with the like organization name hyphen the like identity provider actually. Okay, so that is the IDP. Okay, for example, let's say if you're working in so for example, I worked in one kind of a healthcare project actually. So that project is like X and Y Z or something like that. Okay, so what I did, XYZ hyphen IDP actually, like that I have created. Okay, so like that also you can every organization will follow the same kind of naming convention only. Okay, so let's save it. That's all. So now we created a entity ID. Okay, so system server protocol settings. Okay, yeah. So now we configure the, is it saved properly? Okay, oh yeah, now I think, yeah, that's fine. Okay, so now entity ID is done. Okay, the next configuration. Okay, so we created a data store, we created a PCB, we created an adapter. Now the next one is SP connections actually. Okay, so let's save it here. And then you already saved it, right, Anuya?
Yes, Karthik.
Okay, now can you go to the applications? So now the next step will be configuring the SP connection actually. Okay, so that is a SAML connection. Okay, SP connection is nothing but that is a service provider connection basically. In short form, we are calling it as a SP connections. Okay, so click on the SP connections here. Yeah. Okay, so here as of now we didn't create anything, right? So that is why it is showing as a empty. Okay, so let's create a connection. So first of all, we'll do the dummy connection, guys. Okay, guys, everyone follow this step. This is the most important one in pingfederate actually, the SAML connection. Okay, yeah. So first of all, let's create a connection. Okay, so here every time we need to use the do not use the template actually. Okay, because all the connections will be different to each other. Okay, so if you click on the user template, right? Can you click on only one template is available actually? Okay, so here if you choose that user template, yeah. So there is one default template available in the pingfederate itself actually. Okay, so that is the some kind of a connector is available, but we don't require that. Normally we don't use that because all the application is a new kind of integration for us actually. Okay, there is no template available for those kind of a application. So every time we need to do it as a fresh. We need to understand the requirement. We need to go as a manual option only. Okay, so then only we can also understand all the configuration, all the steps inside the SAML connection actually. Okay, so choose the do not use a template itself. Okay, so we don't need to skip any step actually. So that's why click on next. Yeah. So the next one is here we are going to use the SAML 2.0, right? Okay, so choose the browser SSO profile. So for SAML 2.0, we need to choose the browser SSO profile. As I already mentioned, SAML 1.1 and 1.0 is also there actually. Okay, but 99.9, I mean 100% of the applications are not supporting SAML 1.1 and 1.0. Okay, so why they are giving an update actually? Okay, so here previously SAML 1.1 was there like 2004 or something like that. Okay, so there might be some kind of a bugs or there might be some kind of issue was going on previously. So that's why they have introduced another protocol called SAML 2.0 actually. Okay, so that's why nowadays it's a latest, I mean it's already like 17 years actually, 2005. Okay, so still there is no other version comes because it is stable actually. Okay, SAML 2.0. Okay, so click on next. Okay, so here we are using the browser based application only. There is a browser SSO. Click on next. So as I already mentioned, the next step, this is the most important one. Okay, yesterday I have shown you, right guys, there are three ways we can able to provide the application information. Actually, one is none, that is the manual option. One is metadata as a file, one is metadata as a URL. So here you could see, right, all the options has been provided here. Okay, so we will also see the manual and as well as the file option actually. Okay, for Salesforce connection, right, we will be using the file option actually. Okay, yeah, so first of all we'll go as a manual. Okay, then only we can able to understand what are the steps it will be there. Okay, and then what are the steps it will get skipped when you do the metadata actually as a file. Okay, so let's choose the none and then let's click on next. No, nothing different will be there, guys. Okay, whatever you are going to put it there in the manually, if you put it on metadata, it will automatically take it from the file actually. That's all. The pingfederatetutorial will automatically get those information from the file itself actually. Okay, but nothing differences will be there for that particular application. Okay, now here partners entity ID. So partner entity ID means, okay, can you able to guess it, what is the partners entity ID? Anyone can able to guess it, guys? What is the
There we
partners
have
entity?
given test hyphen IDP. So is it something similar to that? Like test
No,
hyphen SP or something?
no. That is the test-IDP. That is our identity provider entity ID. Okay. So here we need to give the service provider entity ID actually. Okay. So now, as of now, we don't have any service provider, right? Ready with that. Okay. So first of all, we'll create a dummy service provider actually. Okay. So let's do test-SP. So test-SP1 actually. Okay. We can give that one. So here we don't have any service provider actually. Okay, so like that's why we are creating one kind of a test connection. Okay, first of all to test the identity provider initiated SSO. Okay, yeah. So here connection name also maybe test connection number 1, or you can also give the same thing. That's an, I mean both of them is same actually. We don't need to differentiate anything. Okay, yeah, so virtual server ID is nothing but, okay, so this one is only used for a special occasions or like a special cases only. For example, let's say like the entity ID you have given, right, test-IDP actually. Okay, so for example the test-IDP, okay, like let's say you are working inside the one organization and managing the pingfederate for the organization, and then there is already 1,000 applications are there, oh sorry, 100 SAML connections already there actually. Okay, which is using the our identity provider entity ID. Okay, now one application is coming on, okay, and they are asking for a single sign-on. Okay, but they are saying that particular entity ID, okay, they are saying that entity ID must be URL actually. Okay, so they are asking for the identity provider entity ID as a URL. Okay, so can we able to change it actually? Can we able to change the entity ID of our identity provider? Is it possible? Any idea, guys? Anyone can able to guess it? No? Okay. So it's, I mean, we cannot be able to change it actually. Okay. Once you put it, once you put the identity provider entity ID, right? Okay. So we should not change that one actually. Okay. Why? Because we should not change it means, okay. why we should not change it means, like there is a problem will come actually, because there are like 100 applications are there like already in using the existing entity ID. So if you change that entity ID, identity provider entity ID means all the 100 application 100 SAML connections will get fail actually. Okay, simultaneously. So it will be a global outage. Okay, so once the entity ID has been created, we should not change it actually. Okay, then how come we can able to procure this kind of a weird requirement actually? Okay, so I mean nowadays this kind of requirement does not exist actually, because these are all old applications. They are saying, okay, hey, we cannot be able to provide the string as a entity ID in our system or something like that actually. Okay, so that is the application capability actually. Okay, that is application compatibility issues and all actually. Okay, so that we cannot do anything. But how we can able to procure that kind of a weird requirement means, we can able to create a virtual entity ID actually. Okay, virtual identity provider entity ID. So that entity ID will be occur only for that particular application. It won't work for any other application actually. Okay, So how we can able to add it? We can able to add it here in the virtual server ID. Okay, so you can add any kind of entity ID here, any kind of a value here, and then this value will be acting as a virtual virtual entity ID for the identity provider only for this connection actually. Okay, it won't work for any other applications. Okay, so normally this is a optional requirement only, not as a mandatory. So if some application asking this kind of a weird requirement that saying that their application is not supporting the like string as a entity ID from their application, means we can assign some dummy URL here in this virtual server ID, and then this virtual server ID will be acting as a entity ID for that particular application only. Okay, yeah. Okay, understood, guys? Any doubts on this one? The virtual server ID? Yeah, it's an optional only. It's not mandatory. Maybe like 1,000 applications are there, means maybe like one application will be used actually. Okay, it's like, I mean, 1 in 1,000 or 1 in 10,000 only. Okay, not in every day. You are not going to do this one. Okay, yeah, understood. Okay, now, so the next one. Okay, so these are the optional values actually, guys. The information about the application. So if one application is coming on, means, okay, if one application is coming and asking for an pingfederate like single sign-on configuration, means, okay, so they will be having the company name, they will be having the application contact point, right? Okay, so their contact details, the team details, the contact person's mail address, phone number, and then the like a name of the contact person actually. So we can get those details and provide it here, so that in future, if you want to, like, I mean, reach out to the concerned team member, means we can able to easily reach out to them actually. We can able to get that information from this connection and then easily reach out to them actually. Okay, so these are the like configuration for the base URL. Base URL is nothing but that is application URL actually. For example, let's say like your application will have some base URL, right? For example, what is the base URL for the youtube.com? Any idea? I'm just asking generally. So what is the application URL or base URL for your like, I mean, youtube.com or YouTube website?
www.youtube.com.
It should be https://www.youtube.com. Okay, so what is the google.com website actually? So base URL. I think if you are accessing in US, means what is the URL, guys? Is it .co.us? www.google.co.in for IST, but I don't know for, oh, I think .com only. Okay, I think, yeah. So here google.com is there, right? https://www.google.com is the base URL. That is the application URL actually. Okay, so that is just, I mean, if the application is having base URL, you can put it here. Okay, if they don't have, that is also not not required. That is an optional only. Okay, so that contact name, contact number, contact person, email address, right? We can provide those details here one by one actually. And then application will have the name of the application, right? So if it is a Salesforce, means we can give the Salesforce as the application name. If it is a ServiceNow, means ServiceNow. Google like Gmail means Gmail, or YouTube means YouTube. Like that, we can able to give it there in the application name actually. Okay, so these details are all just for information purposes actually, guys, not for any usage or nothing like that. Okay, yeah. So the last one, the transaction logging. Okay, so there are 4 ways we can able to provide the log files actually in the backend actually. Okay, one is no logging. No logging means nothing will be there in the backend for this particular application. Next one is standard. Standard means it will have the failure and then the success and then the failure events and why failure and why success. So those kind of information, it will be in a precise, short, and like cut and short, precise manner actually. Okay, if it is enhanced means it's the same thing, failure and success, but it will have extra more information than the standard actually. Okay, full means it will have everything, the raw data. Okay, so the raw data will be available on the full. Okay, normally we will use the standard option actually. Okay, why? Because like, just imagine 100 SAML connections are there actually. Okay, so 100 SAML connections, the backend log files will get increased actually. Okay, so every day, for example, like one time for testing purposes, I did that full logging for I think 10 applications actually. Okay, my log file went up to nearly 100 GB actually. One file, one log file size per day log file size went up to 100 GB on that full actually. Okay, so it will consume our backend server information only, that space only. Okay, so that's why we won't use the full option. That is also not recommended actually. Okay, because like we won't be having like 1 TB or like 500 GB or like 2 TB hard disk space for every server actually. We will be getting only 500 GB maximum. They will be giving 500, not more than that actually. Okay, so we need to use those kind of disk space, like in a proper way actually. So that's why standard is enough actually. Standard will have all the information. Okay, it will have the success and failure with a precise manner actually, because we don't need to do anything about the raw data actually. Okay, nothing is there. Okay, so nothing required for the raw data basically. Okay, only standard is enough actually. Okay, yeah, so choose the standard and then click on next. Okay, yeah, so the next one, configure browser SSO. So we are going to configure the, so here we are going to configure the SAML response actually. Okay, so that is what we are going to do it. Okay, yeah, click on next. Okay, so as I already mentioned, there are two ways are there, right? One is two workflows, IDP initiated SSO, SP initiated SSO. Similarly, the single logout also there actually. Okay, so first of all, we'll enable the single sign-on, then we will also do the single logout also. Okay, so enable the IDP initiated SSO and as well as the SP initiated SSO, both of them. Yeah, click on next. SLO, we will do it. The next connection, we will do it actually, the Salesforce connection.
Do I need to save draft and then go to next?
No, we can directly click on next actually. Yeah, that's enough. Okay, so accession lifetime, that is the response lifetime. Okay, so there are two things are there. One is request and response. Okay, the lifetime of a request and then the lifetime of a response. Okay, so once the SAML request is, once the SAML request comes, right? Okay, it will be only valid for 5 minutes actually. So within 5 minutes, the identity provider needs to accept that request and then authenticate the user and then create the response actually. Okay, similarly, it will be minutes after 5 minutes. That means like after the SAML response creation, right? That response will be valid for only 5 minutes. Okay, so within 5 minutes, the response should be validated by the service provider and then allow the user to log in into the application. But this 5 minutes, it's like an unrealistic comparison only. Why? Because normally you already saw, right, the authentication for the applications actually. So how much time it is taking for you to log in into the application? So how much time when you type the username and password, how much time you took to log in into the application actually? Any idea, guys? I'm just asking normally, the Gmail or like YouTube or like a Microsoft Teams or like Facebook.com, Instagram, or any applications, social media websites. Okay, so how much time it took basically? So normally, how much time it will take when you type the username and password?
20 to 30.
22. 20 to 30 seconds. That is also high actually. Okay. So normally when you do the SAML, right, it will take only 5 seconds actually. Okay. 5 seconds I have given you based on your network connection. Okay. So everything will happen on a nanosecond and microseconds only. Okay. You won't even feel anything what is going on in the backend actually. Everything will happen at the second level or something. So everything is happen at the instant actually. Okay. So we will also see when we do the authentication, right? The next second, once you type the username and password, next second you will be inside the application actually. Okay, so that is what this 5 minutes is just a default value actually. Okay, so the validity of the request and response, but it's like unrealistic only. Okay, but the default value is 5 minutes actually. We should not increase that one, but we can keep it as it is actually. Okay, yeah, click on next. Yeah, so the next one is we already know, that is the SAML response creation. That is the accession is nothing but that is a response, right? So accession creation. Can you click on the configure accession creation? That is the response creation. Yeah. So here what we are going to do, there are 3 ways are there to send the response actually. Standard is nothing but, okay, so that is a plain text format actually. Okay, standard means it's a plain text format. Everyone can able to see what is there in that particular response actually. Okay, pseudonym is nothing but, okay, instead of sending it in a plain text, right? Okay, the SAML subject will be go as a pseudonym actually. Okay, the SAML subject will be go as a pseudonym. Next, transient is nothing but, okay, pseudonym is nothing but it's kind of a, right? Like yesterday you mentioned, right, Anuya? So instead of sending it in a proper way, it will go as a assign us some kind of a unique value actually. Okay, so it will like a kind of a masking. Okay, now the transient is nothing but, okay, it will be acting as an identifier actually. Okay, it is also going to use it as a opaque value, that is the temporary value. Okay, instead of sending it the original value, it will send the transient actually. Okay, so there are three ways. Okay, normally we will be sending only the standard actually. Okay, nowadays the applications are not supporting the pseudonym or transient actually. Okay, maybe they will be removing in a coming update or something like that. These are all old mechanism actually. When SAML introduced, right, 2.0, when SAML 2.0 introduced, these are the mechanism they have given it. But nowadays they are all we are not using the pseudonym or transient actually, only the straightforward standard only. Okay, yeah, click on next. Okay, as I already mentioned, SAML subject is mandatory, right? So that is the SAML subject is already there actually. Okay, so now for this connection, what are the other attributes we can send, guys? For this connection, optional attribute, what optional attributes we can send? So this is the variable name we are putting it, guys. Okay, not the exact value, it's just a variable name we are providing it here. What are the other attributes we can send? Can we send the mail address in the SAML subject, and then can we send the first name in the optional attribute? Only one attribute. Can we send first name as an optional one, and then mail address in the SAML subject? Okay, so create a variable name for the first name here. Extend the contract. Okay, so the SAML subject is there, right? That unspecified is shown in the right hand side corner, right? The format. So that is the format provided by the application actually. So you can able to get this format in the metadata of the application side. Normally in the application, they will be having this kind of a format inside the application configuration actually. Okay, in the SP side. Okay, so whatever they want to provide the format, right? For example, if they have the unspecified means, we need to choose the unspecified here also. If they have the basic means, we should have to choose the basic here actually. Okay, so this information will be provided by the application side actually. Okay, if they didn't give it means, you can get that information from the service provider metadata actually. Okay, you can get from the service provider metadata, but here unspecified is the universal format actually. Whatever the application side they can use it, unspecified will work for all the things actually, all the format. Okay, unspecified is a universal format actually. Okay, yeah, extend the content, you can use the first name. Optional attributes you can ignore it actually, nothing required. Okay, so just that format and all not required for the optional, only for the SAML subjects we need to match it up, and that is also, if you choose the unspecified, it will act as a universal actually. It will accept anything, application will accept everything actually. Okay, click on add here. So we will be sending the mail address in the SAML subject. We will send the given name, that is a first name, in the first name variable actually here. Okay, click on next. Two attributes we will be sending it, one optional, one mandatory. Click on next. So now here, as I already mentioned, we need to map the adapter in the connection, right? Then only the adapter will get triggered when you hit the SAML connection. Okay, so here choose the adapter here, map a new adapter instance. Yeah, so choose the adapter which you have created. Click on next. As I already mentioned, right, we can able to get the attributes three ways, right? One is putting it in the PCV, attaching it in the adapter, and then using that adapter values in the SAML connection. That is a last step actually. That is a third option. Okay, and then that using that adapter, getting the attributes from the adapter itself and using it in the connection. That is also the third step actually. Okay, or we can also get that information, that is we can directly connect the SAML connection to the LDAP and then use that, get that attributes actually, right? So I think you have it in the Notepad++, right? The three options actually. So here, getting it in the PCV, attaching it to the adapters, and then use that information in the SAML, right? Okay, so that is a third step in the third checkbox. That is a third radio button was there actually. Okay, first two option will have the same thing, guys. Okay, in the left hand side, sorry, can you go back to that notepad? So here, first two option will use the same option, that third option in the SAML connection actually. Okay, so here directly connect to the LDAP. The third option is the first option in the, can you go to that? So here first option is there, right? Now there is a second option is there. Okay, let's say if you are using multiple data stores actually. Okay, so if you are using multiple data store, more than one data stores means we can use that one actually. Okay, more than one PCV, more than one data store means the second option we can able to use it there in the SAML connection. There is a second option is there, right? If you go back to the SAML connection, yeah. So here the second option is there for more than one adapter, sorry, more than one data store. That means more than one PCV, more than one data store. Okay, yeah. So here we are having only one data store. I mean, normally it's a one data store for all the organization actually. Normally there is no, they won't use a more than one data store for any organization. Okay, because all the users will be stored in one database only, right? That's why. Okay, click on next. So this step is there, right, guys? Okay, if you are creating 100 SAML connection, this step will be same for all the SAML connection actually. You will be doing the same step again and again and again actually. Okay, yeah. So click on add attribute source. We need to add the attribute source, right? That means we need to get the attributes from the LDAP. Okay, so choose the LDAP. So give some source ID and source. You can give anything. Okay, you can use the same open DJXL just for our naming convention only. Okay, you can also use the same thing in the description also. Yeah, just for our naming convention only, guys. Click on next. Yeah, so what are the attributes you are going to get it, guys, from the LDAP? What are the attributes you are going to get it?
Username, email.
No, not username. Only two things, right? One is first name and then the mail address.
Mail address.
Yeah, only two attributes. Okay, so we need to give the base also, right? Because we are going to do the search option here also, right? I mean, because after the search only we can able to get the attributes, right? I mean, without searching we cannot be able to get the attributes in the LDAP, right? So that's why obviously what is the search base? We already used it, the same search base actually. DC equal to example comma DC equal to com. Okay, because with here it's basically it's doing the searching option only, right? Yeah. So here what are the, I mean, it's a search scope is a subtree, that is the binary search tree concept. Okay, every time it's a subtree only, it never changes. Okay, now select show all attributes. Yeah, then only in the right hand side it will show all the attributes in the drop down. Okay, so what are the attributes we are going to select it from the drop down? Can you search it? You can type it actually. Mail, right? That's one of the attribute. Yes, add the mail. Click on add attribute in the right hand side. Now what is the next attribute we are going to get it?
First name.
Yeah, what is the attribute name for the first name actually in the LDAP? It's given name actually. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, given name. Okay. Yes, add it. Yep. Okay, so two attributes we already added. Okay, now click on next. That's all. Okay, so now we got the attributes, but we need to give the filter, right? Okay, so the filter will be the same thing. UID is equal to dollar username. It's already there actually. You can copy from bottom itself actually. Yeah, it will show the suggestion in the bottom. You could see, right? Dollar user. You can copy that one itself. Okay, yeah. Okay, so click on next. We will see. Okay, there is a space or something. Is there any spelling mistake or something like that? Oh yeah, okay. Anyways, click on done here. Okay, so now we added the data store, we got the attributes, okay, we provided the filter and then the search base, everything we provided. So now we need to map it, right? Okay, so click on next. We need to map it to the SAML subject and then the first name actually. So choose the LDAP. So there are many other ways also there actually. We will be seeing this one actually, okay. That we can also send the text value. There is a original expression we will be doing it. So that one we will see it later in the after completing the SAML actually. Okay, yeah, separate class will be there for this the source actually. Okay, so here SAML subject, I think we can send a mail actually. Yeah, so first name is obviously given name. Okay, click on next. Yes, now we have successfully mapped, right? So Aniya, you are understanding the concept, right? Till now what we are doing it. Others also, you are understanding the point, right, guys? Whatever we are doing it. So first we chosen the SAML 2.0 protocol. Next we have given the entity ID. No, don't go there, don't go because we didn't yet saved it actually. Okay. So first we did the entity ID, sorry, SAML 2.0 entity ID we have given. That is a SAML entity ID, service provider entity ID we have given. Then we started creating the profile. That is two things. One is SP initiated SSO, IDP initiated SSO. We chose the standard option, and then we also create one variable, right? That is a first name. Okay, we are going to pass it in the response, and then we start mapping the adapter to the SAML connection. We map the adapter, and then inside that we are getting the attributes from the LDAP, right? Directly connecting the LDAP and then getting these two attributes actually, and then assigning those kind of attributes to the SAML subject and then the first name actually. Okay, yeah. So here, this one issuance criteria, it's a separate topic actually. Okay, we will be seeing it, this one actually. Okay, in a future, in a near future, we will see it. Okay, maybe like on Tuesday or something, next week Tuesday, we will see that. Okay, click on next. These are all like extra features of the PingFederate guys actually. Okay, the issuance criteria and all. Scroll down and click on save, done. So now we successfully mapped the adapter, right? Now click on next actually. Okay, so this is a summary of the SAML response. So now we created successfully the SAML response. So now the SAML response is created successfully. What will be the next step actually? So we gave the entity ID, and then we given the all the configuration, IDP initiated SSO, SP initiated SSO also done, and then the SAML response also done. What will be the next step actually? What will be the next step? The most important step. So there are two steps are pending. One is ACS URL configuration. Then next one is SAML certificate configuration actually, signing certificate. Okay, yeah. No, here inside the SAML connection itself, we are doing it actually. Okay, yeah. These are all like only one component actually, SAML connection. Okay, so scroll down, click on done here. Okay, so now here the SAML response creation is done. Next is protocol settings. Click on next. So protocol settings only we are going to give the ACS URL, Association Consumer Service URL. Oh, can you click on next? Oh yeah, sorry. Can you click on the protocol settings? Yeah. Okay, so here this is where we are going to use the ACS URL. We are going to provide the ACS URL. As of now, we don't have any application, right? Let's give the dummy ACS URL. Choose the binding as post. Yeah, and then give the endpoint URL in the right hand side. Yeah, https www.abc.com :/www.abc.com. Okay, click on add.
No need of index.
No, index will automatically assign actually. We will see that one. Okay, so first of all, we'll test normally without the index. Okay, then we will test it. What is that index actually? Okay, so index is nothing but, okay, we can map multiple ACS URL. For example, if the application having 2 ACS URL or 3 ACS URL means they can able to identify by using the index actually 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like that. Okay, we will test it actually. Okay, maybe you can add one more. Okay, index 1. And then binding post. Okay, https :/google.co.in. Okay, so first of all, default is the first one actually, that is a 0. Okay, automatically when you authenticate, okay, it will redirect to the default only. Okay, then you can ask me one question, then how we can able to redirect to the next URL? I will show you how we can able to do it. Okay, when we do the testing process now. Okay, once we complete this SAML, right, we will do the testing now itself actually. Okay, add it. So there are 2 ACS URL we configured. We can add multiple 10. We can add 10, 15, 20. We can add anything. 15. It's not that much. It's like practically it's not possible actually. Like one application does not have much kind of URLs actually. Okay, maybe maximum 5 to 6. That's enough. Click on next. Now there is an option called SAML bindings. Okay, so this is one of the small concept which is inside the SAML itself actually. Okay, so everywhere the SAML request and response, we are all passing it, and then we are all sending the response and then getting the SAML request from the service provider, right? So how this information is being exchanged actually, how the information is being exchanged from the request to the response and then response to the request to the IDP and then response to the SP. How we are all, how that information is doing. I mean, we know it's happening in the backend, but in the backend, how it is happening actually, that is based on the binding actually, SAML bindings. So there are 4 bindings are there. One is post one, next one is redirect method. So do you know in Java there is a post method and get method is there? Do you know what is that one? Any idea, like post method and then the get method in Java? Anyone knows Java, guys? No?
I mean, like the post and get methods we generally use for the API calls, right?
No, I mean API calls also we will be using this nearly a same concept, but it's a little bit different. Okay, so this is a HTTP post actually. Okay, so any idea in Java there is a post method and get method. So normally what is the post method will do actually?
It requires the data from a resource, and the post, it generally submits the data.
Exactly the same concept. So here redirect method is going to do the get method, so it will get the SAML request, okay, and then redirect the request to the identity provider actually. Okay, so that is a redirect method. Redirect binding will do actually. What is post binding will do means whatever the SAML response has been created, right, it will post the response back to the service provider actually. Okay, so this is why the redirect and post method is mandatory actually. We cannot be able to create a configuration without the post or redirect binding. Okay, artifact and soap, it's not required actually, only post and redirect is required. Okay, yeah, so redirect is get method, post is post method actually. Okay, so redirect is used to get the request from the service provider and then redirect the request to the IDP. Then post method, whatever the request has been got from the SP, right, it will create a response and then assign it back to the SP actually. Okay, so that is the redirect and then the post method. Click on next. Okay, so this is where the interesting information we are going to give it. Okay, now we have given the ASIS URL. Everything is done. ASIS URL, all the things are configured. Only one thing is pending. What is that? That is known as the SAML certificate actually. Okay, so here this is the policy we are going to use it. Okay, so that is an option, always sign assertion is there, right? Okay, yeah, so that second option we need to choose it as a mandatory, guys. Okay, because every time we need to sign the SAML response by using one kind of a certificate. Okay, so when you choose this option, then only we can able to attach the certificate in the next step actually. Okay, so choose the second option. The third option I will tell you when we do the testing actually, signed response as required. You can also check that box. The third option, the signed response as required, right? The third option I will show you when we do the testing now, right? Okay, for this SAML response. Okay, you will be getting one kind of a destination attribute in the SAML response actually. Okay, whatever the ACS URL we are passing it in the, we have configured, right? That ACS URL, okay, it will be there as a destination attribute in the response actually. Okay, so that is optional actually. We can also send it or we can also ignore it. That is not a mandatory concept. Just for an extra kind of option, we are passing it actually as a destination, so we can able to identify, the application can able to identify, okay, this is the destination like that actually. Okay, I will show you that destination attribute also. Okay, now the first option, now you can able to ask what is the first option actually. Okay, so the first option is nothing but, okay, how the service provider is asking, okay, hey, I need to trust your SAML response, right? Okay, I cannot able to trust your SAML response simply. So I need the certificate to trust your SAML response, so that only I can able to allow the user to log in. So how the service provider is asking the certificate signing the SAML response, right? Similarly, we can also ask the, okay, hey SP, okay, how I can able to trust your SAML request in the first place actually. Okay, I mean that is like that is also an optional actually. We don't require the SAML request to be signed by using one kind of a certificate actually. Okay, so there is an option. We can also require, we can also ask the service provider, okay, hey, service provider team, you can sign the request by using one kind of a certificate actually. Okay, so if you didn't sign the request, okay, then I will reject the request actually, SAML request, like that. Okay, identity provider will reject it actually. Okay, the same concept, how that response is verified by using a certificate, right? That is the second option. Okay, the first option is for, I mean, we are asking the SP, okay, I need to trust your SAML request. Okay, how I can able to trust your SAML request actually. Okay, I mean, already entity ID and then the ACS URL testing is already there actually, but still the third option to check also the SAML SP certificate is there in the request or not actually. Okay, if it is there, then the pingfederator will accept the request and then it will throw the login screen to the user. If the SAML certificate is not there, means then the then the pingfederator will reject that one actually. Okay, so this certificate we can call it as a SP certificate actually. Okay, service provider certificate, but this one is like optional only, not mandatory. Okay, yeah, click on next. We will also see this option actually, guys, when we do the Salesforce. Okay, now there are two ways we can able to send the SAML. One is in a plain text format, one in a encrypted one actually. Okay, so plain text means we will sign the SAML response by using a certificate. Okay, that means it will be in the plain text format only. The SAML, the whole response, right? It will be in a plain text format, or we can also convert the plain text into a encrypted format actually. That is known as the SAML encryption actually. Okay, so there is one more certificate we will be using it actually. That is the application certificate. Okay, so if the application is asking, okay, hey, pingfederateid team, okay, you need to sign your SAML response and then you need to encrypt the SAML response by using my certificate actually. Okay, if that kind of a requirement comes, means we can sign the SAML response by using one kind of a application certificate. This one is not done by our certificate. This one is done by the application certificate. So we need to get the application certificate and upload it here actually. Okay, yeah, we will do this one also. Okay, as of now we will choose it as a none. We will also see the encryption of the SAML response. Click on next. So we have enabled everything, only one. Okay, we need to attach the certificate, right? That is the last step. It's pending in for this particular SAML connection. Click on done. I know, guys, this is a, I mean, this is like a long kind of a configuration, but if you see it as a whole picture, right, it will take, okay, I mean, when we do 3 to 4 connection, right, okay, the fifth connection, you will take it up in a 5 to maximum 5 minutes, you will complete actually. Okay, now, I mean, it's been like nearly more than 8 years, right, for me. So it will take only couple of minutes for me to configure the SAML connection or not. Okay, so that much practice I got it actually. Okay, yeah. So click on next. The final step will be the certificate actually. Okay, scroll down. Yeah, done. Yeah, click on next here. So this is a browser SSO we already configured now. Now the final step is the certificate actually, configure credentials. Okay, so here we don't have any certificate as of now. Okay, so let's go to the manage certificate. So let's create a certificate actually for our own SAML certificate, the signing certificate. Create a new. Okay, can you give the pingfederate host name? So the SAML certificate will be same as your pingfederate host name only, guys. It never changes. Okay, yeah. So subject alternative name, DNS name, use the same value. The pingfederate host name only. Yeah, add it. So these are the other stuff, so you can use it for the organization. You can put test-zogo or something like that. Yeah. Yeah, it's already there. I think we already created one certificate, right? That is a different one actually, SSL server certificate. Yeah, next one is organization unit. You can also put people actually. Okay, city, you can use your own city, state, country. You can use any details you want actually. These are all optional, guys, actually. That organization unit. So these are only the host name of the certificate is matters. Okay, yeah. Okay, country is US. Yeah, no, it's only US. You have to give the country code. Yeah, so the certificate, yeah. Okay, the certificate validity days, right? You can give 365 days, you can give 700 days, you can give 1000 days, whatever you want actually. Okay, yeah, click on next. Okay, now save the certificate. Okay, yeah, now the certificate has been saved.
What about this? Do we need to make this the active
Yes,
certificate?
yeah, it will automatically come actually. Yeah. Yes. Okay, so now here already certificate is configured, done. No, we don't need to export anything. Just we can click on done there. Yeah. Okay, so now here we can also assign secondary also. I mean, secondary not required. Let's say like the okay. So let's say the primer certificate is going to expire in 5 days or something, or 60 days or something like that. Okay. So at that time, we cannot wait till the certificate is going to expire, right? Okay. Before that itself, we need to renew the certificate, right? Okay. So we can renew the certificate and we can update the new certificate as a secondary. Okay. And then share the new certificate to the application team actually. So they can update it whenever they want to update the certificate from the application side actually. Okay. Yeah, so till that certificate is valid, right? Okay, the SAML, it will work properly. Okay, if the certificate is expired means, okay, the SAML will get failed. So the signing certificate which you are having it, you need to, it is having the validity of time actually, maybe like 1 year or 2 years. Okay, so every 1 year or 2 years you need to renew the certificate to create a new certificate actually. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so there is an option called include, right? We need to include the signature. Okay, we need to include it in the response, right? Yeah, you can also include the Rocky in the signature also. Yeah, because these are all we are putting it in, including the certificate information in the response. Click on next. Yeah, always certificate it's a RSA short 256 only, guys. Okay, yeah, because old certificates are using SHA 150 like 128 bit actually, but nowadays it's 256 only. Okay, yeah, click on done. Okay, so this is a final step. Okay, click on next, and then this is a summary. Okay, so activate. Okay, it's already activated, that's fine. Okay, so this is the SAML connection which we have created. If you scroll down to the bottom, let's save this one. So we successfully created a SAML connection. Okay, so here just click on the SAML connection, guys. Just click on that one. No, in the left hand side. Okay, so here there is one URL will get automatically generated in the top, right? This is known as the IDP initiated SSO endpoint URL actually. Okay, this is known as the identity provider initiated SSO URL. So if you click on this URL, it will take it as a IDP initiated SSO. Okay, now open another tab in the Chrome browser. Okay, type SAML tracer for Chrome. So this is the extension, guys. We can add it in the Chrome browser. Okay, yeah, click on the first one, the SAML tracer, guys. Okay, add it to the Chrome. So this one is used to like, trace the SAML actually.
It got added.
Okay, yeah. Now can you go back to the pingfederate console and then hit the URL? So guys, this is when you hit this one, right? First of all, we are testing the IDP initiated SSO. Now you could see, right, guys? Wait a minute. No, wait. Okay, so when you try to hit this URL, right? Okay, the pingfederate is triggering the adapter. So this is the adapter actually. Okay, HTML form adapter. You are seeing it in the screen actually. Okay, understood?
So this is just the form we created.
No, it's an automatically created form actually. Okay, yeah. So this is a default form actually. Okay, now here it is the login screen. You are seeing it in the like browser actually. Okay, so this is a pingfederate generated login screen. Okay, every time we need to use the, if they are using the single sign-on, we need to use the pingfederate login screen actually. Okay, so all the applications should have to use that one. Pingfederate is the one which have to throw the login screen to the user actually. Okay, yeah. So here, if you remember, we created one user in the LDAP, right? Yeah, can you copy that UID and then the password here?
Wait, oh, it got logged in and then this message.
No, this is fine. This is fine. So this ABC is just we don't know whether there is an URL is there like abc.com, right? It's just a dummy URL only, right? abc.com. Okay.
Then
so
what about the second one which we have given for the
that we will
redirect?
see. We will see. We will see. One by one, we will test. Okay. So where is the SAML tracer we got? Oh, I think you are sharing only that. No, we enable SAML tracer, right? Okay. Can you close this one? Okay. Can you close this browser? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Open the SAML tracer again. I think we can open the SAML tracer. I don't know why it has been not showing. Okay. Yeah. Anyways, can you pin it to the browser? Yes. Okay. Now open the SAML tracer. Just click on the SAML tracer. Yes. Oh, you can minimize this one. Okay, now try to access the same URL again. Now it will automatically log you in because the session is already there, right? Okay, so you could see the single sign-on is working because the session is already there. It is automatically log you in. Can you open the SAML tracer now? Okay, you could see, guys, the second one, that is a SAML response. In the right-hand side corner, that SAML has been provided, right? Can you click on that URL, Anuya? The second one, yeah. So in the bottom, there is a SAML is there, right, guys? Click on the SAML in the bottom. No, the headers actually, yeah. So here, can you copy this one and put it there in the Notepad++? So this is known as a SAML response, guys. Okay, so we saw one example, right? The SAML response example. Okay, so this is the, this is also looks like the same thing actually. Okay, yeah, this is the response we can able to see it. How we can able to see it in the XML format on here? I think this one.
I think maybe I need to open the Visual Studio Code.
Oh yeah, okay. Can you paste it here? New text file. I think text file also, no. Oh yeah, okay. So can you maximize this one? So here, this is the SAML response, guys. Can you go to the top? So you'll go, come line by line. So first one, the response actually, that is the SAML 2.0 protocol. There is a version in the second line. Okay, there is one referrer ID is there. Okay, so that is the third. Okay, that is the unique ID for each SAML transaction. It doesn't matter actually, but you can just remember the ID actually, referrer ID. Okay, yeah, and then the destination. So what is the destination? Okay, we are putting that ASS URL, right? https://www.abc.com. That is the destination we are providing the SAML response to actually. Okay, then who is issuing the SAML response? The identity provider entity ID, right? That is a 7th line. Okay, test-IDP. That is our IDP entity ID because that is the one who is issuing this SAML response actually. Okay, scroll down. These are all some signatures actually. Okay, syntaxes which is available in the SAML. Okay, you could see there is a X509 certificate is there, right? 24th line. That is your SAML signing certificate actually. Okay, so that is a certificate which we added in the response, right? Okay. So the the application team will check if this certificate is there or not. If it is there, it will accept it actually. Okay, yeah. Now scroll down. So there is a status code is there, right, in the 35th line. So that is a success in the right-hand side corner. Okay, it is showing the success, right? That means the SAML response is success. Okay, and then 42nd, that is the issuer of the SAML again. That is the our identity provider entity ID only. Okay, so these are all some. Like these are all some syntaxes for the SAML response. Scroll down. There is one more thing will be there. In the 70th line, there is a SAML subject is there actually. Okay, the SAML subject is starting from 69th line. Okay, that is a SAML subject is starting. Okay, and then in the 70th line, what is the information we are passing it in the SAML response? You can able to see it in the right hand side corner. Okay, that is your mail address we are passing it, right? It is there as a your mail address actually. Okay, and then what is the recipient actually in 72 line? Okay, that is the ASS URL we are passing it. Okay, scroll down, and then within 5 minutes and with like after 5 minutes it is there, right? That is the maximum 10 minutes limit actually. Okay, so that is the one. Okay, and then who is the audience here? That is the service provider is the audience. Okay, yeah, test-sp1, that is a SP entity ID. Okay, next one is here. There is a other attribute we are passing it, that is known as the first name actually. Okay, you can able to see it in the 92nd line, right? So what is the first name here? The value of the first name is Anuya. In the 98th line, you can able to see it. So this is how the SAML response will get generated actually. Okay, so this is one of the URL we are passing it actually. So now how we can able to put it for the other ASS URL we put it. Okay, can you go back to the URL again? Yeah, can you go back to the pingfederate? That is IDP initiated SSO URL, right? Can you copy this one, the URL? Okay, yeah, can you go open another tab, maybe incognito window? That's better, incognito window is better. Yeah, can you put it here? Yeah, ampersand, no, wait. Okay, anyways, you could see right in the top. Okay, in the top, as I already mentioned, right? So start SSO.ping, right? I have shown you the difference, right, between IDP initiated SSO and SP initiated SSO. The URL will get changed. Here you could see the URL. Okay, so this is for IDP initiated SSO. Okay, now when we do the SP initiated SSO, maybe tomorrow, we will see the difference in the URL actually. Okay, yeah. So here ampersand, you know, right, what is the ampersand and symbol? Okay, ACS in caps. Yeah, I in caps. Okay, DX. No, that is lowercase. DX is lowercase. Is equal to 1, right? I think 1 is the second URL we are passing it, right? Yeah. Enter. Okay, login. Provide your username and password. Okay, click on sign on. It will show some. Okay, so here you could see right in the top, google.co.in it is showing. Okay, so this is how. Now you could see right, multiple ACS URL can be triggered by using the index value of the application. Index value of the ACS URL we are putting. No, don't do it like this. Okay, yeah. So here you could see it is passing it to the google.co.in, right? So what multiple ACS URL can be triggered by using the index value we have provided in the pingfederate configuration actually. Okay, so if you didn't provide anything, it will take the default value. That is the first URL we put it. Okay, if you provide the index, it will go to that particular ACS URL actually. Okay, understood, Anuya? Now you can able to see the difference between these two ACS URL, right? How we can able to trigger the multiple ACS URL. This is only for IDP initiated SSO, guys, not for the SP initiated SSO. SP initiated also supports multiple ACS URL, but it is not it is not going with the index actually. They can able to directly hit the URL actually. Okay, we will see that one also. Okay, yeah.
So how can I get the one? The same URI so that I can save it.
Sorry, which one?
We have given the ampersand and like ASCI DX one, right? So
yeah, just copy. No, you authenticated actually. Okay, so you cannot go back. Okay, so guys, if you go back and write, the pingfederate won't work actually. Okay, because that is known as the click jacking. Okay, so whenever you authenticated, you should not use the back button in the application actually. Okay, that is a click jacking. Okay, there are like a lot of click jacking, hacking are all happening on, right? So the pingfederate will block that one actually. Okay, so ampersand ACS. No, wait. I will put it in the chat. Okay, guys. So you can give 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like that actually. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, whatever you can add them. Even you can test it actually. Okay, after this class, right? Okay, you can create another connection. Test-sp2. Okay, get any other attributes like last name, SN. Okay, or mobile number. Okay, that is a mobile. Okay, and then give any ACS URL you want to access it actually. Okay, if you give 0, the same URL, Anuya, just give 0.
Okay.
Copy that, paste it. You already pasted here. Yeah, ampersand ACS IDX is equal to 0. Enter. Okay, yeah. Okay, so this is whatever multiple, you can give any dummy URL, you can use it actually. Okay, you don't need to worry about the application endpoint actually. Okay, you can give any dummy URL, abc.com, abc1.com, xyz.com, or like even you can give facebook.com. Okay, instagram.com, youtube.com, anything you can give actually. Okay, so just we are posting the SAML response to those unknown, to those URLs. Okay, they does not know what is this, and then they will give some throw error, something like that. So the Google Chrome, it is throwing some error, right? Because that, we are passing the response to that particular URL, but the google.com does not know what is this actually. That is why it is throwing an error not found actually. Okay, yeah. Understood? Okay. Yeah. Any doubts, guys? Everything is clear now? All good, this SAML?